My name's Jonathan Phang and I've just finished my first book, The Pepperpot Club, due to be published by Hardie Grant and on the shelves in April 2013. I've worked in the fashion industry for 30 years and I've been lucky enough to represent some of the world's greatest supermodels, and although I come from an industry where people notoriously don't eat, I've always enjoyed food and I started cooking at a very, very young age. I grew up in a very boisterous family and where food was at the heart of absolutely everything. Whatever we did, it revolved around food. My parents were both from British Guyana. The Guyanese are known as the most hospitable people in the entire Caribbean. The Caribbean is a real melting pot of cultures. There are about 6 different nationalities that make up the population, and everywhere has this wonderful fusion and influences of so many different places. And I think in England we just think of the Caribbean as people that eat ackee and saltfish and a bit of jerk chicken, but there's so much more than that. Some of the best Chinese food you will ever have is in Jamaica. Some of the best Indian food is undoubtedly in Trinidad. I recently returned from 5 weeks in the Caribbean where I travelled around the different islands and explored the heritage of the recipes that the islands are most famous for. It was wonderful for me to meet some amazing home cooks, women that reminded me of my mum and my aunts. You know, I was in Trinidad and met a lovely little lady called Myrtle. I wanted her to adopt me. It was like being in the kitchen with my mum and my aunts all those years ago. And you know, she shared some of her family recipes with me and I shared some of mine with her. And I felt very at home, and you know, that's the sort of stuff that I miss about my life. And I really delved into the heritage of the recipes that I love so much and that I grew up on. So all of those recipes will be included in the book, and some new ones that I created using the ingredients that I discovered so much about in the Caribbean. The book has been a really big journey for me. My mother died 10 years ago and I wanted to do something to mark the anniversary of her passing. I just felt that I had this tremendous heritage that my mother left me, and I really feel passionately that I didn't want her memory to just be forgotten. I think everybody's life is very valid and very important and really counts for something. And as it came to the 10th anniversary of her passing, I finally thought, it's time to move on, but it's time to remember her in a positive way and to remember what gift she left us. And for me, that was her recipe book, and she left this little notepad which was quite stained and not actually that informative, because she just wrote little notes down, and it was almost like, well, if you loved my food and you took any notice of it at all, you put all the pieces of the jigsaw together and you work it out. And it's been a great privilege to do so. And the book explains all about my unusual upbringing and explains the Saturday afternoons hanging out with the ladies in the kitchen creating food. And I really hope that everybody loves the recipes as much as I do.